Guys, this is intense what's going on in Kamchatka, Russia. The scientists, the local scientists, are raising the alert about all these volcanoes that are popping, but that's not all. So this megathrust earthquake, 8.8 subduction zone earthquake, has caused not only how experts are calling it a parade of volcanic eruptions, it has caused something else. Part of the Kamchatka Peninsula, and you see it here on the map, has shifted southeastward because of that megaquake. And guys, we're not talking about a few inches or centimeters. We're talking about a large shift. That is intense. We talk about this in this video and about the volcanoes that keep popping in locations where you would not expect it, where you'd not say this makes sense that this earthquake. No, we'll talk about this. So let's start with that shift. The whole peninsula. This is not a small island, guys. This has military installments. Russia's most important port, nuclear submarine port that has been damaged, as it seems from satellite pictures. The Russians have not confirmed that. But the southern Kamchatka Peninsula has shifted nearly 7 feet, guys. That's 2 meters. That's 2 large steps if you walk in that July 30th megaquake. That is a lot. I mean, that was a massive earthquake. So the Russian scientists have now reported that this 8.8 earthquake was among the 10 strongest recorded in history and for that area, and the largest worldwide since 2011. So it's not a big surprise that it does or did something. It still does, by the way. It still does. It seems to have triggered a domino effect because the earthquakes are migrating, and now experts think it could have activated other faults. But we'll get to that. So the Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky area, where there's also that submarine base, has experienced more modest shifts of only 50 centimeters, roughly 20 inches. That is also significant. But the southern peninsula has been displaced almost around 7 feet, 2 meters. And that, guys, that tell us that the Earth's unprecedented power is unpredictable. Although this is an already seismically active region with a lot of volcanoes. So I quote the Unified Geophysical Service of the Russian Academy of Sciences. And they said, quote, "We conducted preliminary calculations based on geodynamic observation results, and it turns out that they're sitting on the peninsula, there's a cat outside, and Rudy sees it, and Eddie too, and the cat looks through the window, and they just won't be quiet. So I'll start again. Silence. It turns out that we all moved southeast quite substantially. Again, 7 feet. Maximum co-seismic displacements after the July 30th earthquake were observed in the southern part of the peninsula. There we also see the Mudnovsky volcano that is active now after a thermal anomaly was detected. I've just reported about this in my previous video. And again, let me finish with the quote. I keep interrupting them. They said they were amounted to nearly 2 meters, 7 feet. And they also posted this on their, I guess, Telegram account. And you can see the blue arrows. This is how it has shifted, how it has moved. That's the southern tip. And now we're seeing these earthquakes migrating. We're seeing higher magnitudes. We just had a 5.1, by the way. We see them traveling to the Kuril Islands. And the red dotted line, that is basically the fault zone, the subduction zone. Now he just had his dinner. He's moving his bowl, makes that noise. Will I be able to finish this video today? Rudi! Good. Thank you. The quake has already triggered the first eruption of the Kamchatka volcano, a dormant volcano. Nobody expected this thing to erupt. And now after 600 years, it has caused this eruption. And also Klyuchevsky has also erupted. That's Eurasia's tallest active volcano. I mean, thankfully, I really have to say, despite all this, what this Megathrust earthquake has triggered, no fatalities have occurred. So this is really great. But the resulting tsunami was real. It has done damage to port facilities, and of course along the Kamchatka Peninsula there were the highest waves. Fish processing plant in Severokursk was destroyed. But also this tsunami, overall, when the tsunami warning came out, this tsunami was less destructive than initially feared. That's a good thing. Reported about this, did damage to California, to Crescent City. And guys, Crescent City is in Northern California, because when I did this video, some comments were, no, this is in Oregon. No, it's in Northern California, and not a good location because the tsunami can go quite far inland should there be a bigger one. And they have their local fault lines, but they're also still affected by the San Andreas fault, but they will also be affected by the Megathrust earthquake, a Cascadia fault rupture magnitude 9+. So if that happens, many say it's overdue. But again, let's look at something else that was happening. We have all these volcanoes popping at once. So is this normal? Question mark. It's a region with over 160 volcanoes. You see it on the map. You can't even write all the names because it's so tight. 29 of them were considered active. I guess we can increase that number now. So what does the Russian Academy of Sciences say about this, we think, unusual activity of these earthquakes? They say that this is the first time in at least 300 years that now 7 volcanoes have erupted at once in this region. So this is not normal. And the director of the institute, his name is Alexei Ozerov, he described the situation as an, quote, extremely rare phenomenon that can be described as a parade of volcanic eruptions, or a chain link, or a domino effect, something like this. You know what I mean? And we still have these aftershocks. I mean, this is now 5-6 days away that the magnitude 8.8 earthquake has happened, and we're still seeing the aftershocks. So this morning, magnitude 6 aftershock in the Pacific Ocean near Kamchatka, again 6 a.m. local time, according to the Kamchatka branch, that's the name, of the Unified Geophysical Service of the Russian Academy of Sciences. Doesn't that sound nice? So among all these volcanoes that are erupting, I reported about this. Klyuchevsky volcano, that is within the Kamchatka volcanic. So all these volcanoes, is that related to the shift? Because what's interesting to the shift, you might want to ask yourself, okay, this is the biggest earthquake since 2011. What happened 2011? Did we have something similar? So yes. So if we look at the Kamchatka Peninsula, greatest shift in the south of the peninsula, and that movement in the south is comparable to the horizontal displacement that resulted from the 2011 earthquake in Japan. So the seismologists acknowledge that the peninsula has shifted really significantly. Kamchatka volcano, latest activity in 1463. That was the first lava flow that we just saw or still seeing in the last week for the first time in nearly 600 years. That's according to officials. And at first, when everything happened, a local seismologist told the local media that there's no connection between last week's Megathrust earthquake and the increased volcanic activity in Kamchatka. But that opinion has shifted now. Now they're saying we attribute the eruptions to the earthquake, which has activated the magmatic processes and has provided them with additional energy. Kamchatka volcano came as a surprise. It's located not far away from the epicenter, less than 150 miles away. And I guess we will have to see how many more will get active, or how long this rumbling will take place, or if there's more geological features that have been activated, and what this traveling of the earthquakes, what that means, because many doubt by now that there's still aftershocks because they're so high and in such a high intensity. So is this another fault line that has been activated? That remains to be seen, guys. I'm watching this for you, of course. And if you want to see in real time how a large magnitude earthquake can shift the earth, you should watch the footage, first time ever caught on camera, the Myanmar earthquake, how it moved the earth. Stunning video. If you haven't seen that yet, it is a must, guys. I promise you. And you have to watch closely because there's so much distraction. The ground's cracking, things are falling over, that you might overlook this massive shift that's happening there. I'll put this in the end screen for you, and check out all the other videos about everything that's going on, guys. It's absolutely crazy. Thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel, check the links in the description. Fill me up with coffee on my buymeacoffee.com/silky site. Click the join button for a membership with behind the scene videos. Thank you for your supers. Thank you for watching. If you click here, one of these videos, I'll see you right there. Bye-bye.